Hey everyone, this is David Pike, the Motor City Mechanic. In today's video, we're going to be talking about some mechanic-specific tools that will be showing up in 2021 from Milwaukee Tools. So make sure to check it out. Now back in January, Milwaukee Tools had a special private event for a select group of us automotive YouTubers, Facebookers, and Instagrammers, and we weren't allowed to talk about anything that we saw until today. Now there are 9 new products that are automotive related that will be coming out in 2021, and that's what this video is about. I'm going to show you some of the stuff I've got on hand, and we're going to talk about other things that I don't have that we've got pictures for. Now some of these things have been talked about previously in the last few weeks. Some of these things are new to both you and me, and also there's one thing that never even got mentioned during that meeting that actually showed up in a follow-up email that's quite interesting to me that we're going to be talking about. Now the first tool we're going to be talking about is the M18 blind rivet gun. Now this isn't something new. This has been mentioned in the last few weeks. Now its claim to fame is that it is the fastest cordless rivet gun on the market, and it will last up to 3 times longer on a battery charge than its nearest competitive. Now as far as specs, it delivers up to 4,500 pounds of pulling force, and depending on the size of the rivet, you can get up to 900 rivets per charge. Now the next cordless tool we're going to talk about is the M12 FUEL high-speed ratchet. And Milwaukee already has an extensive lineup of ratchets as it is. We've got the non-fuel, which is great for the DIYer. Then we jumped up to the fuel, which was the 3/8, ½ inch, and even quarter. We ended up getting around 55 foot-pounds of torque, depending on the model. Then we went to the extended versions. Now we've got another option. If you're not looking for torque, but you're looking for speed, this is the tool for you. The RPMs have been bumped up to 450, but with that we lost some torque. We went from the 50 range down to the 35 foot-pounds. So again, you've got more options in the variety or lineup of cordless ratchets. Now with that, we've also got the smaller heads. Basically the 3/8 and 1/4 inch drive heads are the same size, so they can get in tighter places than they would on the previous fuel models. And also, if you don't think you can reach the anvil to turn the selector, they do have an extended handle version or button that you can actually install. So if you're wearing gloves when you're working, now you can actually get in there and change the direction. So you've got options. Now while we're still on the subject of cordless tools, we've got another industry first, and that is the FUEL low-speed tire buffer. Now this tool is dedicated to doing tire repairs. Now for those who aren't familiar with that, typically we remove a tire, we go on the inside, we scuff up the inside of the rubber, and we're going to apply a patch. Sometimes we're going to drill a hole and we're going to use a plug patch, but nonetheless we've got to clean that surface, and that's what this tool is dedicated to. And it's got a quick release on the end, and you can get 2 different sizes of tire buffers, a 2-inch and a 2.5, and also a drill attachment. So there are options there. Now this is the first tool to meet the USTMA standards, which are 1200 RPM for drilling and less than 5000 RPM for buffing. Again, you can get up to 30 tire repairs on a single charge, so it's another option out there for the tire guys that's actually in the industry as well. Now for those of you keeping track, we're up to item number 4. Now this is something I've been asking about a lot lately, and finally, after all these years, they're coming out with it. Now let's go back a few years. Now you remember Milwaukee Tools came out with the actual socket sets and the blow molded cases. We had 1/4 inch drive and 3/8 initially. Those were the flat 4s where you could put a wrench on them. If they rolled across the floor, they wouldn't go so far. Now they came in shallow and deep. Now a couple years later, we actually got the 1/2 inch sockets, which is great. Now the next thing we needed as mechanics was we needed something stronger, right? We needed impact sockets, and that's what they're doing now. Now there's not just one specific kit because they've got a whole line out coming. They got everything from 1/4 inch drive all the way at the 1 inch. They're going to have complete sets, and when you get to the 1 inch, you're going to have to buy individual sockets just because of the cost of each one of them. Nonetheless, we've got them, and they're actually highly visible as far as the numbers. They've got white paint inside so you can clearly see what the numbers are, and they're going to be falling under their Shockwave line of sockets. Again, we now got socket sets for our impacts. Now they're also going to be coming out with the universal swivel, not sockets, but the universal joints. That's another addition I've been looking for. Instead of that old school chrome version, I wanted the ball and socket. Now there's no mention yet about the actual swivel sockets, but that's something that's probably open up to discussion later on. But for now, we've got sockets, shallow and deep. Now for those of you that love the Packout system, they've introduced a couple new things this year that could actually turn them into a tool cart. Now they've got two different editions. One's a 2-drawer and the other is a 3-drawer. So now you no longer have to unstack Packouts to get to what you want. You can actually build you a tool cart. You've got the roller bases, you've got the work platform as well on the top. Now it's just a matter of filling in between with either a 2 or 3-drawer combination. Now at this point, all you got to do is pull your drawers out to get to your tools. Again, you're not breaking them down. Now they will roll around the shop. You can use them for whatever you need. If you need to break it down and throw it back into your work truck or your service truck, if you got to do road repairs, you've got the option there as well. So if you're into investing into the Packout system, it's another option. Now while we're still on the subject of Packouts, let's talk about the socket sets. Now this is something that's already been mentioned online in the last few months. That's nothing new. Now I physically got a set on hand to finally try out myself. Now they're going to be coming in standard and metric, or you can get the combination of both. And again, being a Packout, it actually locks into the other systems as well. So if you're having to have those emergency road calls or you need to take something on vacation, you can grab that Packout selection of sockets, take it with you. Now the insert's not the same as what came in the motor cases, so unfortunately there is a difference there. Based on the size of the Packouts, there had to be some modifications. Those wouldn't fit. But nonetheless, you've got options now, again, metric, standard, or both of the above. Now if you notice so far in the lineup, everything's kind of flowing together. We've gone to cordless tools to sockets. Now we're going to be talking about hand ratchets because there's some additions to that. And the first two we're going to talk about are the Stubby versions. We've got a 1/4-inch drive, which is 3 inches long, and we've got a 3/8 drive that is 5 inches long. Now these are 4-degree arc swing, which equals to 92. Now they're real small, so you can get in those tight places. They're not going to be used for a lot of torque, but just basically if you're in somewhere where you can't get a bigger ratchet, these are going to work perfect. So now that we've got some short ratchets, it just makes sense to make some longer ratchets. So that's what we're going to be talking about now, is the 3 extended handle ratchets they're announcing this year. 1/2-inch drive, 3/8, and 1/4. 1/2-inch drive is going to be 18 inches long, 3/8 is going to be 12, and then the 1/4 is going to be 9 inches. Now the specs for the extended are the same as the Stubby. We've got 4-degree angle of swing as well as 92. So again, we got different ratchets for different setups. You need longer, you need shorter. We've got additions now. And that brings us to announcement number 9. Now this is something also that I kind of wanted to see happen over time. Around the same time as the socket sets initially coming out, the 1/4 and the 3/8 drive chromes, they actually launched wrench sets. Nothing fancy, just basic wrench sets. Now they have some special characteristics to them, yes. But then in the follow-up years, we ended up getting the ratcheting versions, and finally, after asking them numerous times, we're getting the flex head ratcheting combination wrenches. Now these have the 2.5-degree swing, which ends up being 144 tooth. Again, metric set, standard sets. You can get them either way. You can get them smaller numbers or you can get the full sets. So it was, again, logical progression to where we are now. At that point, what else can you do? But it's nice to see that we finally got to that point and you got options, you got different price points. Now I haven't had the chance to physically use a lot of these tools. I've taken the Packout socket set on an emergency road call the other day, which worked out perfectly. I didn't have to go digging through my drawers and throw something in a bag. I literally just grabbed a handle, took it. Worked out beautifully. Now some of these tools, I'm not sure how I'm going to be using them or if they're going to work well for me, like the rivet gun. There are different trades as far as automotive where a rivet gun comes into play. For me, being the technician I am, I use a lot of plastic rivets. It's probably not going to work with that tool. But again, that is what I work on my field. The tire buffer is something I'll probably use from time to time. Now, if I was actually into repairing tires all the time, that would probably be a must-have. Now, starting out in my career as a tire installer, definitely. But as I've progressed over time, I don't use it as much. But again, it is a tool that I would probably need to pick up. Now, the high-speed ratchets. Preferably, I love the extended versions, the torque ones, because I want the torque. Speed's not so much for me, but there's probably those times when you get into things that torque doesn't really matter, especially dealing with the AC box or something like that. Those fasteners are not super tight. Speed would probably come out great, and especially with the heads being smaller versus the fuel version. Again, I could get into tighter places, so that would probably work great. Socket sets are a no-brainer. I'm more of a OCD type guy when it comes to socket sets. I love to see every socket numbered from 8 on up. I don't want any missing. I don't care if I don't use it. I just want to have it, because what I might use a certain size you might not use. I might use a 15 while you use a 16. The other two may never get touched. But again, I want it there just in case. And it doesn't hurt to have extra 10 millimeters, right? So it's cool to see that, and I love the fact that they have the bright numbering on them so you can see them real quickly. Now the rail setup's kind of cool. If I'm going to be putting them in a tool cart though, however, I would hope that they would have a magnetic base, something to keep it in place, because even though it's got flat places to keep it up, if I'm moving my cart around, the possibility of it falling over and stuff is very likely. That would be nice to see. I can't wait to see what the complete socket sets look like. Hopefully it's more than just some of the 14 piece that I've seen advertised. Hopefully we're getting some bigger sets, maybe all metrics, shallow and deep type setups. That would be awesome. Ratchets are awesome as well. I love the little small stubby ones. Those work great. When you get to the bigger ones, don't get me wrong, it's a nice addition to the lineup. But what I would really love to see is the flex head style, which, as we've seen with the sockets and we've seen with the ratchets as far as wrenches, the progression's there that I probably think we'll probably see them in the next year or so. We'll get the flex head ratchets, what we've really been wanting, and that will hopefully complete the lineup on those. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. Other than, I guess we could talk about that Packout tool cart as well. As mechanics, we've usually got the metal versions here. I think the plastic's kind of cool. If you've already invested in the Packout system, it's probably going to work great for you. As mechanics, if we've got tool carts already, to start investing in this setup really doesn't go towards us so much, but the mobile guys, I could see it being a great plus. I know guys that do the mobile repairs on the side, and instead of having something big and bulky like this, it would be great if they could actually break down the tool cart, put it on the ground, use it, and put it back up, because 90% of what I do is out of this cart. I have these toolboxes behind me. They basically just store tools. What I use on a daily basis will be in this cart. So if I'm a mobile guy, or I'm doing fleet work or heavy equipment and I'm out in the field or something, I could see that being a plus right there. Having the drawer so I don't have to break it down. I've got the work surface and I can roll if I need to. For me personally, it might not work as great, but for the other people out there, because the automotive field is large. It's not just automotive, it's heavy equipment, it's aviation, it's motorcycles, ATV, boats, you name it. So what I use it for is probably not what they would use it for, but again, it's a perfect addition to the lineup. And again, what can you say? Milwaukee Tools is looking out for us. There ain't a lot of brands that actually make things specific for us, and I can't wait to start using these things, seeing more of the sockets, actually getting my hands on it and using a lot more of them. So I've always had much respect for Milwaukee Tools, not because I get the tools, that is a plus, right? But it's because every year they're doing something for us mechanics. They had this special event just for us automotive guys, right? That's what we know. This is the things we see. We're making suggestions. We're hoping that they're hearing. A lot of other brands don't do that. They will announce small things here and there. But again, it's nice to see somebody other than a tool truck making stuff for us. Whether you use it or not, if you buy it or not, if it's out of your price point, so be it. There's an option there. And it's an option that's usually cheaper than the other options as far as the big 3 or the big 4 tool trucks. So again, take this what you want from this video. It's basically an announcement of what's coming. These aren't reviews to tell you what lasts, what's great, what's weak, what's strong. It's something where I'm just kind of rambling on, explaining things that are coming. I'm going to have all the specs below as far as the prices, the kit numbers, stuff like that. So make sure you scroll through it, check it out, and also we have the launch dates. So if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up on YouTube. Don't forget you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you got any comments or suggestions about anything you saw in today's video, leave something in the comments below. Or you can email me at david@motorcitymechanic.com. Also, if you'd like to shop on Amazon, which everybody does, scroll down, there's a link, click on that link, make that your Amazon homepage, and anytime you buy anything whatsoever, you'll be helping to support this channel. Once again, everybody, thanks for watching.